All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on What the Sheet. And in today's episode, we're going to be testing my new Skil right angle impact. In previous videos, or previous video, I went over how I bought a Skil 6 tool combo kit, and this is one of the tools that came in there. And the purpose of this video is I want to see how this compares not only to the regular Skil impact gun, but how it compares to my Milwaukee 12 volts and then this Masterforce 18 volt impact or 20 volt. All four of these tools will be running a 2 amp hour battery, and what I'm going to be doing is we'll do 4 screws in this treated 6x6 post and kind of see how they do. And then, like in my last impact video, I'll pull out that treated 2x12 with the 1-inch spade bit, and we'll see how this does at putting holes in that. I would imagine that a good use case for this guy would be your kind of standard putting holes like through 2x4 studs and stuff like that to run electrical or plumbing or something like that. This would be really handy to get in there, because then you can reach in there. It's a pretty low profile. You can get in there nice and small, and then you still have that ability to kind of hold it out. And you're not, bound up in there like this is. And with the head being, a couple inches shorter than the regular Skil impact or most impact guns, it allows you to get in a lot tighter spaces with it as well. So that's another benefit for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my screws ready, get the bit started, and we're going to start with the Milwaukee first, and then the regular impact, Skil brushless, the right angled impact, and then we'll end off with the Masterforce impact, and we'll just kind of see how everybody does. All right, so that went pretty good, better than last time I did this test. I'd say these two, to me, they felt almost identical. This one, it's kind of different when you're using it, because you feel kind of like you're so far back just the way the tool is. But overall, balance-wise, it's pretty good with the 2 amp hour battery. And then, putting it in, I didn't feel like I was having to overcompensate for the being so far back from the bit. Drove it, the screw in, no problem. As always, I feel like the Milwaukee brushless is pretty far behind the Skil 12 volt brushless and the Masterforce 20 volt. To me, for sure, just by putting it in, not seeing the video after I edit it, felt like it went a lot faster than these two, which is kind of to be expected. But it would be nice if these were a little bit more powerful, but you can only do so much with 12 volts. Next, we're going to do the 1-inch hole test. Same as before, we'll do 3 holes with each, and then like I said, I'll put the video side by side and we can see how these compare. The big test will be kind of between these 3 and seeing how close they are together. And I'll be interested to see how well this does with the holes, because that's one of the big selling points for these right angle impacts, is for putting holes in 2x4 studs and walls that are already built up. So it'll be nice to see how well that does, especially in treated lumber. So I'll get that set up and I'll be right back. And we're done. I still think the Masterforce is out competing the two Skills by just a touch. I'll try and put the actual times with these guys on the video. Obviously, you guys will have seen that if I've figured that out or not. But to me, it feels like the Masterforce is probably, for like those 3 holes, is probably about a half a second to maybe a second faster than the two Skills. Just by feel, this Skil right angle impact feels about the same as the Milwaukee does. And then this is definitely a lot faster than the regular brushed Milwaukee, which kind of sucks. I was hoping this would have a little bit more oomph to it, but at the end of the day, if you have just a small little head up here, this little end being your impact mechanism, it's going to be hard to get a lot of power out of something so small. But it did well, which is good. I mean, doing a 1-inch hole through some 2x treated pine is not easy, especially for a smaller tool like this little 12-volt tool. So it did well for that. If you were like an electrician or a plumber or whoever, if you needed to do something like that where you're doing having to reach into tight spots to put in holes or put in screws or whatever, this is definitely a good tool to add to your collection. Or if you want to get into the Skil line, this isn't a bad tool to kind of get started for kind of those niche one-off type situations, because most Skil tools are relatively cheap compared to kind of their counterparts versus Milwaukee or something like that. I will put right here, I'll compare the right angle impact Skil price versus the Milwaukee, which is kind of, you know, the main competitor. I'll see if Milwaukee makes a fuel version of their right angle impact, because that would be the equivalent, because this is brushless and everything like that. So I'll see kit prices and all that stuff for bare tool, what these two are compared. This is going to be a lot cheaper. I already know that off the top. It'd be interesting to see the price difference on the two. But yeah, so that's going to conclude today's video. In the next video, I will go over my Skil 12-volt drill that I just got that was in part of this kit. And I'm going to compare that to my Milwaukee M12 brush drill, my installation driver, which is a brushless fuel, and then my Milwaukee 18-volt drill that's brushed. And we'll do some of the same tests. We'll do the whole test for sure, but we might do a few other different tests besides screws to see how well those drills compare. And I do have a this AC Delco torque meter, so I might find a way to rig up something for those, and I can test the torques settings on all those drills and see how they compare for torque. But that's all I got for this one. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Peace out.